What if I told you that Hollywood's most perfect couple, the golden pair of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, may be hiding something so explosive that even the strongest legal walls cannot contain it? What if a single protective order was not about safeguarding privacy, but about shielding secrets that could shatter their carefully built image forever? Tonight, we dive into the storm that no one in Hollywood wants to talk about, but everyone is whispering behind closed doors. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have long been celebrated as Hollywood's most untouchable couple, with their playful banter, their public appearances, their picture-perfect family, and their reputation as the ultimate power duo who somehow remain both glamorous and relatable. But behind the dazzling red carpets and Instagram jokes, there is now a dark cloud swirling because Candace Owens, known for her sharp tongue and relentless commentary, has set her sights on them. And what she has unleashed is not just a storm of gossip, but a hurricane of suspicion. Owens has mocked and taunted the couple for filing what she claims is an unusual protective order, hinting that such a move is not about children or contracts, but about keeping explosive truths locked away from public view, and the timing could not be more suspicious. Whispers are already spreading across Hollywood that the couple rushed this legal step in a panic, fearing that someone close to them was ready to spill secrets capable of demolishing their fairy tale image. And in a world where one rumor can topple an empire, this sudden maneuver has become the hottest obsession in the industry. Because if the order really is about keeping hidden information from surfacing, the stakes are enormous. Owens thrives on moments like this. She knows how to twist the knife just enough to make people wonder what could possibly be hiding behind the glossy surface. She points out the irony that Blake and Ryan market themselves as authentic as real. As relatable, yet here, they are allegedly hiding behind legal walls to keep their reality from being exposed. And this is exactly where the tension builds for fans who have adored the couple for years. The idea that their charm, their love story, and their playful teasing might just be a polished performance is a devastating thought, but it is also irresistible because audiences cannot look away from the possibility that even the most perfect love story might contain cracks. Owens has been accused countless times of chasing controversy for attention, and certainly this move gives her headlines, clicks, and buzz. But she has also built her brand on puncturing facades, calling out hypocrisy, and framing celebrities as frauds who pretend to be one thing while living another reality. And so her relentless taunts about this protective order are more than just petty jabs. They are an invitation to the public to start imagining what secrets could lurk beneath. And once the door is cracked, open speculation floods and insiders are whispering about frantic phone calls, late-night meetings, and PR teams scrambling to contain the fallout. Some suggest that this is about unflattering remarks made in private that could be twisted into scandalous sound bites. Others believe the order might shield business entanglements, financial deals, or sponsorship arrangements that, if revealed, could damage their brand. And then there are those who think it could connect to the wider legal chaos surrounding figures like Justin Baldoni and Taylor Swift, making this part of a much bigger Hollywood drama. And yet, through it all, Blake and Ryan have remained publicly silent, issuing only the vaguest comments about respecting privacy, a move that only fuels the flames, because in Hollywood, silence is never neutral. It is a choice and a strategic one. And the more they refuse to explain, the more room there is for Candace Owens and others to fill the void with speculation and insinuation. And that is exactly what keeps people glued to the story, because once suspicion takes root, it spreads like wildfire. Every interview, every public appearance, every old clip is now re-examined for clues and contradictions. Owens knows this, and she stokes it masterfully, daring someone from the inside to leak just enough to keep the frenzy alive, whether she truly has sources or is simply amplifying whispers. Her strategy works because the public is hooked, the tabloids are feasting, and the golden couple now finds their perfect image hanging in a precarious balance. This is where the suspense deepens, because one slip, one rogue text, one stray document could change everything, and the protective order itself now looms like a symbol, a locked box that everyone desperately wants to open, because if it truly holds the secrets, Owens claims, then it could mean the difference between Blake and Ryan continuing to be Hollywood's most adored duo or becoming its next tragic cautionary tale. As the storm grows louder, The mystery around Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds deepens, because what makes this entire saga so captivating is the contrast between the image they have built and the whispers now swirling around them for years. They have been celebrated as the couple who managed to make Hollywood marriage look effortless, trading jokes online, supporting one another on set, raising their children with apparent grace and humility. But suddenly, every smile, every playful jab, every loving gesture is being reinterpreted through a new lens. Was it all part of a carefully calculated performance? And this is where Candace Owens has found her leverage, because she insists that protective orders of this kind are rarely routine. They are not the ordinary measures celebrities take to shield their children or keep contracts private. Instead, she argues they are often used to build walls around something potentially damaging, something that, if revealed, could unravel the mythology surrounding public figures. And in her relentless commentary, Owens has turned this into a narrative not about legal technicalities, but about truth versus illusion. She frames the couple as desperate to maintain their spotless reputation and challenges the public to question what they might be hiding. This has created a ripple effect, because once Owens threw down the gauntlet, the internet did the rest. Social media has erupted with speculation memes comparing Blake and Ryan to royalty, hiding behind castle walls, hashtags questioning what is really inside the sealed documents, and endless threads debating whether the order is about secret financial entanglements, hidden production disputes, or even personal remarks that could be interpreted as explosive. If taken out of context, the frenzy is unstoppable because secrecy breeds curiosity. And the fact that Blake and Ryan have chosen silence only makes it worse. Their PR strategy of staying calm, issuing bland statements, and projecting composure has backfired in the eyes of some observers who say silence is the loudest answer of all. Owens understands this dynamic better than most. She knows that in the hyper-connected world of Hollywood, gossip, all she needs to do is light the spark, and the public will fan the flames from there, creating a cycle that feeds itself as gossip sites hunt for clues. Insiders drop vague hints, and mainstream outlets reluctantly cover the controversy because the buzz is too loud to ignore. And that is the genius of her provocation. It does not matter whether she has evidence or not. The spectacle itself becomes the story, and Blake and Ryan become characters in a drama they cannot control. This raises the stakes because if even one insider breaks ranks, the whole illusion could collapse. Imagine a former employee, an assistant, or a friend deciding to cash in on the attention and reveal private details. Suddenly, the protective order becomes not a shield, but a red flag proof to the public that there must be something worth hiding. The couple find themselves trapped in a paradox where speaking out might fuel the fire, but staying silent looks like confirmation of guilt. And that tension is exactly why the story refuses to die every new day brings another rumor, a fresh whisper, another layer of speculation tying them to broader Hollywood controversies and weaving them into narratives they never intended to be part of. Some insiders claim the order may connect indirectly to the ongoing mess between Blake and Justin Baldoni, suggesting that documents or testimony could draw her deeper into legal battles that have already captivated the industry. Others say it may involve sensitive business partnerships that Ryan has built through his ventures in film and business deals that could look compromising if dragged into public view. Whatever the case, the silence is deafening, and Owens uses that silence as ammunition, painting the couple as fragile royalty hiding behind legal shields. She mocks them as modern-day monarchs terrified of exposure, hinting that the cracks in their fairy tale are not just small imperfections, but fault lines ready to shatter under the weight of scrutiny. And the audience eats it up because this is not just gossip, it is myth-making. It is the deconstruction of Hollywood's golden couple and the transformation of their story from a modern fairy tale into a suspenseful thriller where the world waits breathlessly to see if and when the truth will break free. And that is the brilliance of this unfolding drama, because every moment of silence, every carefully worded statement, every time Owens throws out a sarcastic remark, becomes another clue, another beat in a story that refuses to resolve itself, because deep down, audiences are fascinated not by perfection, but by imperfection. Not by fairy tales that last forever, but by the cracks that make them collapse. And in that tension, Blake and Ryan now find themselves caught in A spotlight more dangerous than any red carpet glare? The deeper this saga goes, the more dangerous the silence becomes because Hollywood thrives on mystery and speculation, and Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds find themselves trapped in the very cycle they have worked so hard to avoid for years. Their relationship was seen as an antidote to the toxicity of fame, proof that two actors could balance superstardom with family life and still appear grounded. But now that carefully constructed image is under siege because Candace Owens has reframed the narrative from one of privacy to one of secrecy. She has turned a protective order into a symbol, a locked vault that suggests there is something inside worth guarding at all costs. And whether she is right or not does not matter anymore because the public has taken the bait and speculation spreads faster than any official denial ever could. Suddenly, old interviews are recirculating clips of Ryan making offhand jokes about Blake are being dissected for hidden meaning. Tabloids are running. Think pieces about the fragility of Hollywood marriages and social media is alive with theories ranging from the plausible to the outrageous. Some insist this is all about money, that financial entanglements and contracts are at stake. Others whisper about connections to bigger scandals involving other stars, and still more suggest that something personal, something intimate could be hidden inside those sealed files. And Owens knows that in the absence of clarity, the imagination of the audience will always run wild, and that is what makes this story so potent. Every moment that Blake and Ryan stay silent, every time they smile on a red carpet without addressing the whispers, the story grows larger and more uncontrollable, and Owens amplifies. This by portraying herself as the fearless truth teller, the one willing to challenge Hollywood's golden image. While everyone else stays silent, she taunts the couple with her commentary, daring them to speak, while reminding the public that if they really had nothing to hide, they would not need such extraordinary legal steps. And whether or not that logic holds true, it resonates because it plays into a larger cultural fascination with the idea that perfection is an illusion audiences want to believe in fairy tales. But they are equally addicted to watching those fairy tales unravel. And in that paradox lies the trap for Blake and Ryan. Because if they break their silence, they risk giving Owens more ammunition. And if they remain quiet, they look like they are hiding something. Either way, the narrative is not theirs anymore. It belongs to the public, to the media, and to voices like Owens who thrive on chaos. And this is where the suspense becomes unbearable, because what if the protective order really does contain something explosive? What if there is a document, an email, a message that contradicts the image they have cultivated? What if there is a financial entanglement that could call their endorsements into question, or a remark made in private that could be taken out of context and twisted into a scandal in Hollywood? Even the smallest slip can become a tidal wave, and Owens knows it better than anyone, which is why she continues to needle the couple not just with sarcasm, but with insinuations that ignite further speculation. She calls them fragile princes and princesses hiding behind their castle walls. She hints that the order is not about protection, but about desperation. And with each comment, the frenzy grows. More intense because now the public is not just curious. They are invested, they want resolution, they want to know if the golden couple is really as perfect as they seem, or if they are simply another Hollywood illusion. And the timing of this drama makes it even more potent because it arrives at a moment when other scandals are shaking the industry, when audiences are already primed to believe that behind every red carpet smile lies a hidden truth. And so the protective order becomes more than just a legal document. It becomes a cultural flashpoint, a symbol of the fragility of fame and the impossibility of maintaining perfection under constant scrutiny. And that is why this story has refused to fade, because in the end, people do not simply want to be entertained, they want to see what lies beneath the mask. And Owens has given them permission to demand answers from a couple that once seemed untouchable. And the more the frenzy grows, the more the couple risks being pulled into a spiral that could end in reputational collapse. Because in Hollywood, history has shown again and again that even the strongest images can shatter with a single crack. And right now, everyone is watching to see if that crack will appear in the end. What makes this entire saga so gripping is not simply the mystery of what may or may not be sealed within a protective order, but the larger question it raises about the very nature of celebrity and perception. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, have built careers not only on their undeniable talent, but also on an image that has seemed invincible, a modern fairy tale of love, humor, and stability in an industry where such qualities are rare, yet now that image hangs in the balance because one whispered rumor, one hint of hidden truth can feel more powerful than years of carefully crafted appearances. Candace Owens has ensured that silence will never again be neutral for this couple. She has reframed their choice not to comment as a sign of desperation fueling speculation that may never be fully extinguished. And that is the danger of Hollywood's delicate ecosystem. Once a seed of doubt is planted, it grows rapidly, feeding on public curiosity and magnified by the machinery of gossip outlets and social media. The longer the documents remain sealed, the more audiences imagine they must contain revelations capable of shaking everything. We thought we knew about the golden pair, and perhaps that is why this story refuses to fade, because deep down, audiences know that perfection is rarely real, and they are drawn to the possibility of seeing behind the curtain into the chaos that lies beyond. And so the suspense lingers, unanswered questions hang in the air, and the story continues to build, not because of what we know, but because of what we do not know. A mystery that leaves the world waiting for the moment when the illusion either holds or finally collapses.